Good morning, students. In today's class of service marketing, we'll start with a new topic, that is service management triangle. In the previous classes of service marketing, we have studied in Unit 2 about service consumer behavior. What are the distinctive characteristics of service consumer behavior? What are the factors that affect the consumer behavior in case of services? We have also studied about the purchase process of services and what is the consumer behavior while buying the services. So let us just recap about the three stages of the consumer behavior purchase process, that is pre-purchase, encounter stage, and post-purchase stage, that we have discussed in the previous class. After recapping about the three stages, we start with the new topic, that is service management triangle. So that we have studied in the previous classes, the whole process we have studied. It consists of three processes, three stages: pre-purchase stage, service encounter stage, and post-purchase stage. So everything starts with the awareness of the need. When the consumer feels that there is a particular need that is not satisfied or particular expectation that they want to be fulfilled, then there arises the awareness of a need. With the need arousal, starts the process of information search. While searching for information, we will first define the needs. We will explore what are the various solutions available. Then we have to try to understand the various alternatives available for the solutions. Here we have to understand that during the purchase of services, since perceived risk is there, so the consumers, they are very cautious while deciding which service to select. So they will identify the various alternatives of service suppliers that they can avail the services from, and then they will decide the best service provider from whom they can avail the service. In the evaluation of alternative service suppliers, while evaluating this, first the consumers will review the documentation that is available, that is the advertising, brochures, websites, whatever is available of this about the service company. They will first review the documentation. They will also consult other people like friends, family, and other customers in order to understand the quality of the services that is being provided. They will also perhaps visit service suppliers and speak to the service personnel and service provider in order to understand how far the services will be given in a proper way. So after understanding this, they will decide upon identifying the various alternative service suppliers. They'll finally, and evaluating the various alternative service suppliers, they'll finally decide upon a particular service supplier with whom they will proceed or from whom they'll avail the services. So this is the end of the pre-purchase stage, and then the service encounter stage starts, where actually a service request is given to the chosen supplier. Out of the alternative, who is the chosen supplier, the service request is given, it or initiate a self-service, whatever may be the case. Then there is service delivery. So in service encounter stage, this is the stage where the consumers and the service delivery person come in contact with each other. So this is a very crucial stage. So after this service delivery stage also consists of the service environment, the service personnel, all these things, and how far the service environment, service performance contribute to the satisfaction of the consumers, and how far they will try to satisfy the needs and expectation of the consumers. Everything comes under service encounter stage. Then after the service encounter stage, the third stage is the post-purchase stage. Because in services, there is certain risk associated with the services, perceived risk. So even if they make a purchase, decide to go with a particular service provider, they generally evaluate the services more than post-purchase services. Evaluation is more in case of services than in case of goods. In evaluation of service performance, the consumer wants to see whether the service that is being received by him is value for money or not, or whether it satisfies the uh, needs and expectations of the consumer. If it is satisfied, then the consumer will be happy. If he is not satisfied, sometimes he may not complain, but sometimes he may go for negative word of mouth. And also constrain other people from or restrict other people from availing the services from the service company. Also, the future intentions are also included because future intentions suggest that whether the customer will be coming back for repeat purchases. Sometimes service in this post-purchase stage, it is seen that customer dissonance is seen. Here, the service provider must try to assure that the service that is being availed by the consumer is the best service in quality, in prices, so as to remove this customer dissonance. So these are the three stages through which a consumer passes when he decides to purchase a service. That is the pre-purchase stage, service encounter stage, and the post-purchase stage. All these three stages has been descriptively discussed in previous classes. In today's class, we start with a new topic, that is service management triangle. Service marketing is all about promises, because here the service company provides gives a promise to the makes a promise to the consumer stating that they will provide the service of a particular quality that will satisfy the needs and expectations of the consumer. So service marketing is basically broadly based upon the promises that it makes to the consumers. Promises made and promises kept to consumers. So what promises? The promises that is made and also the promises that is kept to the consumers. That means once the service company makes a particular promise of satisfying the needs and expectation of the consumer to provide the service at a particular price of a particular service of particular quality level, then the service company, in order to retain the customer, in order to satisfy the customer, he has to provide that particular level of service quality at a particular price in order to satisfy the needs and expectation of the consumer. So whatever promises are being made by the service company, those has to be delivered, those promises has to be kept. If those promises are kept, then the consumers will return for repeat purchases. They will provide a positive word of mouth. But if those promises are not kept and they are broken, then the customer may eventually leave the company, will not buy from the particular service company, and may also spread negative word of mouth. So this is very important. So we have to understand service marketing is concerned with mostly promises, and these promises, when we say, it is the promises made by the service company and the promises kept to the consumers or customers. Service management triangle is a strategic framework which reinforces the importance of people and the ability of firms to keep the promises and building customer relationships. So it is a strategic framework. The service management triangle that we are discussing, this is today's topic. It is a strategic framework which reinforces or empowers the importance of people, because in services, it is the service delivery people who deliver the service to the consumers. So if they do not deliver the service in the delivery process of the service, if there is some shortcomings, then the customer will not be satisfied. So it is concerned, reinforces the importance of people and the ability of firms, service firms, to keep the promises. So whatever promises that are made by the service organizations or service firms, these firms has to keep their promises and also helps in building customer relationship. Because when you deliver on a particular promise, when you keep a particular promise that you have made to the customers, then the customer becomes loyal, and you also start building customer relationship with the customer. So it is helpful, the service management triangle is helpful in order to understand the importance of people, the ability of the service firms to keep the promises, and also to build customer relationship. So this is the reason why service management triangle is so much important. The triangle shows the three interlinked groups that works together to develop, promote, and deliver service. So this is very important because it's an interlinked framework where all the three groups, they together try to develop, promote, and deliver service to the consumers. Between these 3 points of the triangle, 3 types of marketing must be successfully carried out for a service to succeed. So in the 3 points of triangle, the 3 types of marketing, that is internal marketing, external marketing, and interactive marketing must be successfully carried out to see that the service is properly delivered so that the service is delivered in such a way that the promises made by the company is kept and the customer is happy and all the needs and expectation of the customers are fulfilled. That is the reason service management triangle is very important. Now, the service management triangle implies that all the three sides, external, internal, and interactive marketing, are critical for the successful service marketing and management. So, when we study the service management triangle, we understand all the three sides or all the three aspects of marketing that are discussed. That is the external marketing or internal marketing or interactive marketing. All these three are very much critical for the successful service marketing or service management. So if you want to have a successful service organization, we have to critically see that all the three sides of the external, internal, and interactive marketing are properly fulfilled. Without any one of the sides of the triangle, the total marketing effort cannot be supported. So the total marketing effort, service marketing effort, cannot be supported if any of the three sides are not given importance or any of the three sides are not present. So in order to see that the service marketing and the service management is successful, that the total service marketing effort of the service organization is successful, we have to see that none of the three sides are left out. So all the three sides are important in delivering the proper services of proper quality to the customers. Each side represents a significant challenge for service business. So each side, whether it may be external marketing, internal marketing, or interactive marketing, they pose as a challenge for the service business, and they have to overcome this challenge by providing good quality of services to the customer. So each side of the service management triangle is a represents a particular significant challenge to the service business, which the service business or the service organization must cope or face. When we say the service management triangle, the three sides, the external and internal and interactive, there are three interlinked groups that we have discussed previously. What are those three interlinked groups or the three key players in the service management triangle? We will understand one by one. First is the company. Company means the SBU, the department or management. SBU means SBU is a strategic business unit, or it may be a department or a management. That is the company, that is on one side. It is the customer that are on the another side, and it is the service provider. Another point, that is the service provider. When we say service provider, it means it may be the firm's employees, or it may be the subcontractors or outsourced entities. So in various services, the services are directly given by the firm's employees, and in sometimes it is given to subcontractors provide or deliver the service to the customers, and sometimes the whole process of delivering the service is outsourced to a third party. So the outsourced entities are responsible, and they play the part of the service provider on behalf of the service company. So let us understand the service management triangle with the help of the diagram, which will clarify all the doubts. So this is the service management triangle. On one side, we can see from the diagram is the company. On one side, there are service providers, and on one side, there are customers. The relationship between the company and the service provider is known as the internal marketing. So it is the stage or phase where enabling of promises takes place. Whatever the company wants to promise to the customer, these promises are enabled in internal marketing. Then comes external marketing, that is between the company and the customers. Here it is known as external marketing because here the company makes promises to the customers that this particular service will be a particular standard of quality, particular price, at particular place it will be delivered as per the convenience of the customer. So all the service marketing points will be covered. So the promises is made by the service company to the customer. So this is the external marketing. Depending upon this external marketing or making of promises, the customer buys or avails the particular service from the service company. And on the bottom, we can see there is interactive promises, interactive marketing, where keeping of promises takes place. So it is a link between service provider and the customers. So many a times service is generally a service company, the service is provided by the service providers, and the service provider come in contact with the customers. So the customers and the service providers, they interact with one another That is the reason it is known as interactive marketing, and this is the place where the keeping of promises takes place. Suppose a service company makes promises, but the service providers do not deliver a particular kind of service as promised by the company to the customers, then the keeping of promises cannot be made. So if we give an example, suppose Jio company has a lot of Jio digital care. Their work is to see that they provide the service to the customers. So what happens if this Jio digital care, they do not provide proper the service, whoever the service providers, they do not provide proper services to the customers. The customers will feel that the service company, that is Jio, is trying to con them, is not giving the services as per the promises that is was made by Jio, Reliance company. So it is the service providers who directly provide the service or deliver the service to the customers. So they come in direct contact with the customers. So this is known as interactive marketing, and this is the place where keeping of promises take place. So all the three entities, companies, service providers, and consumers or customers have to come together, and none of them can be left out in order to see that the service is provided in a proper way as per a proper standard. And we will understand all the three types of marketing, that is internal marketing, external marketing, and interactive marketing, in order to understand the service management triangle. So first we'll start with the internal marketing, or enabling of promises that takes place between the company and the service provider. So what happens in internal marketing? Internal marketing comes from the basic understanding of marketing. So it generates from the basic understanding of marketing. If we understand the basic, have a general understanding of the marketing, we'll understand the internal marketing in a much more proper way. If we say what is internal marketing is defined as viewing employees as internal customers, viewing jobs as internal products that satisfy the needs and wants of those internal customers while addressing the objectives of the firm. So let us divide this thing in order to understand what is internal marketing. The employees, the practice of seeing these employees or viewing these employees, the service organization views the employees as internal customers. So the employees become the internal customers for the service company, and the jobs that they are doing, these jobs are viewed as internal products, and they satisfy the needs and wants of the internal customers. So these jobs or the internal products, they satisfy the needs and wants of these customers. While on one hand, it satisfies the needs and wants of the customers, it also addresses the objectives of the firm. That is the performance and the productivity. What are the objectives or the acquiring of a particular market? So whatever the objectives of the firm are there, addressing those objectives of the firm are also included. So internal marketing is defined as a viewing employees as internal customers, viewing jobs as internal products that satisfy the needs and wants of these internal customers while addressing the objectives of the firm. Internal marketing acts as a part of the marketing strategy, with the employees themselves are termed as internal customers. So in internal marketing, it acts as a part of the total marketing strategy, service marketing strategy that the service organization has. And here the employees are themselves termed as or considered or viewed as the internal customers. So this is something we have to understand. It is used, this internal marketing is used as a philosophy of managing the firm's human resources based on a marketing perspective to build internal competencies for external success. Here, the internal competencies of the internal customers are developed in order to achieve the external success. So, this internal marketing philosophy is used for managing the firm's human resources. Human resources means the employees of the service organization, and this philosophy is based on a marketing perspective. The whole thing is built on a marketing perspective to build the internal competencies of these internal customers in order to achieve the external success. What is the external success? To satisfy the needs and wants of the end consumers or the final consumers who will be buying the service. So first we have to satisfy the internal consumers, and then they will satisfy the main consumers. So it is used, this internal marketing is used as a philosophy for managing the human resources based on a marketing perspective to build the internal competencies for the external success. So next we will understand it is an ongoing process. So this internal marketing is not something that will happen overnight. So it's an ongoing process that occurs strictly within a company. So this internal marketing takes place within the boundaries of a company or within a company, whereby the functional process is to align or to bring in line, next motivate and empower employees at all management levels. So to align, motivate and empower employees who are the internal customers at all management levels. So we'll try to align them with the functional process, and we will motivate them and empower the employees or the internal customers at all the management levels. For what? To consistently deliver a satisfying customer experience. So our aim is to provide a satisfying customer experience to the final consumer or customer. So here we'll try to understand that is the ongoing process where it occurs inside a organization or service organization, where the aim is to see that the functional process is to align, motivate and empower these internal employees or the internal human resources at all management levels to consistently deliver, to help them to consistently or empower these internal customers to consistently deliver a satisfying customer experience to the final consumer. So this is an ongoing process. The challenge for internal marketing is not only to get the right messages across, but to embed them in such a way that they would change and reinforce the employee behavior. So this is very important. So what is the major challenge for the internal marketing as such is it is not only to see that the right messages are sent across to the customers, that in keeping of promises is seen that proper messages are sent out to see to make the assure the customer that all kind of work is done to assure the customer that the service will be of a particular quality, not only to get the right messages across, not only to deliver the promises that is been made by the company, so not only to deliver get the right messages across, but also to see or to embed in such a way such that it this internal marketing helps to change and reinforce the employee behavior. So it will try to change the employee behavior and also reinforce the employee behavior. What kind of employee behavior we are discussing here? Here we are discussing upon employee behavior where the employee behavior is to see that it has to maximize the satisfying of the customer experience. So they will try to satisfy the customer. So this employee has to have this behavior, and this, if he doesn't have this behavior, this internal marketing will help to change this behavior and to reinforce this employee behavior, where the aim of the employee is to see that the service customer is completely satisfied and is having a very satisfying customer experience. So that is the main aim of internal marketing. The unique characteristics of service, especially the characteristics of inseparability, emphasizes that employees are a part of the service. Since service has a particular characteristics of inseparability, which means that the services cannot be separated, where the consumption of service takes place along with the production, it is inseparable. That means that the service delivery person or service provider must come in contact with the customer and should be present at that place in order to see that the service is provided or delivered in a proper way. So if we take an example, if you want to go to a particular spa or a salon, then what happens here? The person who is giving you the services of spa or the service messages or services of haircutting or any other pedicure or medicure, whatever services that has been provided to these customers, here the person delivering the service, representing the service company, has to be present in presence of the customer in order to deliver the service. And here it is seen that in case of services, the inseparability characteristics emphasizes that the employees has a part, that the employees who are the internal customers have a part to play in the delivery of the service. So they also become a part of the delivery of the service. So this is that is the unique characteristics of inseparability. Due to this presence of this unique characteristics of inseparability in services, employees, the internal customers, they become part of the service. That is the reason these internal customers has to be, their behavior has to be changed, that new behavior has to be enforced. They have to be told that their aim should be to satisfy the total customer experience of the customer. So that is the reason. Now, in this form of marketing or internal marketing takes place through the enabling promises between the company and the service provider in order to deliver on the promises made, and the skills, ability, motivation to deliver the service. So why this is important in internal marketing? It is a place where enabling of promises takes place. Takes place between whom? It between the company and the service provider. And how does it help? In order to deliver the promises that is made by the company. And these promises are made by the company by external marketing. And not only to see that they deliver the promises made, that is already made by the company, but also to see that the skills, ability and motivation to deliver the service. So there is a proper, the service provider has the proper skills required to deliver the service, has the ability to deliver the service properly to the consumers or customers, and finally motivation, proper motivation to deliver the service properly to the customer, and to see that the customer is having a satisfying experience with the service company. So these service providers are very important and they help in enabling the promises. So the enabling of promises takes place between the company and the service providers. And this is important because these service providers help in delivering the promises that are already made, and they have this to be seen that they have the requisite skills, ability and motivation to deliver the service. But unless the providers are properly recruited, trained and provided the tools and internal system, the service quality cannot be delivered. So this is a very prime concern that we have to understand. First, that is the service providers that are just be seen that they're properly recruited, that they have the requisite skills, ability, and motivation to deliver the service. They are properly trained, even if they don't have this ability or the skill, or they are not much motivated to provide very particular satisfying experience to the customer, then they should be trained by the service company, and this new employee behavior has to be reinforced, and also to provide the tools and internal system. The service company should provide whatever the basic support is required, what are the tools and equipment required by the service provider, and the internal system or the support system that is required by the service provider to see that the service quality cannot be delivered. So if they are not provided this particular training, they are not properly recruited, the tools and equipments are not provided, the internal system and support system is not provided to these service providers, then the service quality cannot be delivered. That means the service quality cannot be delivered as promised, and the promises that are made by the company to the customer will be broken. So it is very important to see in enabling of promises between the company and the service provider, to see that the service providers are properly recruited, trained, and all the facilities, all the requirements are met out. Whatever tools and equipments are required, they are given, and also internal system and support are given to these service providers. Otherwise, the service will be of bad quality. Building confidence and motivation in your employees so that they build excellent relationship with the end customers and the company gets money. What happens? How does the service company makes money? Because this service providers, they keep the promises that are already made by the company. So the building confidence and motivation in your employees or internal customers or the service providers. In order to this will help, why this confidence building and motivation is required, because this will help in building an excellent relationship with the end consumers. The service provider will be motivated and will be having enough confidence to build a particular excellent customer relationship with the end consumers, and this customer relationship with the end consumer helps in getting more business, the company money, because they are satisfied. Once they are satisfied, they spread positive word of mouth, they come for repeat purchases, and also you can upsell services to them, because you are in a regular contact with the in customer relationship with the end consumer. You are in regular contact with the end consumer, you provide them with all information regarding upcoming services, or you can also upsell them services. So this is very important in internal marketing. Why the employees or the internal consumers are important? Because sometimes the services, when they are provided, the service provider role is done by, sometimes it's done by the employees of the organization themselves, or sometimes it is subcontracted, or or agents give it, and sometimes it is outsourced to other entities that see that the service is delivered to the customers. So in many cases, since the service is sometimes delivered by the employees of the service organization, so it is generally told that in internal marketing, it is the internal consumers who help in the delivery of the service to the customers. So this internal marketing is very important. It states about the relationship between the company and the service provider, where enabling of promises takes place, where the service providers are empowered, recruited, trained, and they are given enough tools, equipments, and support to see that they are able to keep the promises that is made by the company. So this is about the internal marketing. We'll understand about external marketing and interactive marketing in the next class. Please go through the video. I will be sending you the note digitally. Please go through that also. If you have any doubts, no need to panic. Contact me. And finally, thank you for your attention.